That's not what I want to do. Hello, everyone. Today is Wednesday for our financial literacy platform episode, and we are continuing the long-term investing for beginners, breaking everything down piece by piece. And okay, let's get started. I'm going to try my best to make this quick this evening because I've had a long weekend and week. So I want to get through everything as quickly as possible. So today we are getting started on the additional information for you all to get started with your long-term investing. Some of the stuff will be a recap of what I've already gone over. And again, today is Wednesday. I found that I'm going to have to start saying Wednesday and Saturdays on each episode because if I get confused, I may start talking about Saturday stuff on Wednesday and vice versa. So I'm going to say the day to remind myself which one I'm doing because I have information left and right on preparing for these videos. So today is Wednesday. The additional episode for long-term investing on the King's Legacy Group financial literacy platform. And again, it's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. But today I decided to do it at 7 because I have some other things I need to do and go to sleep so that I could get up around midnight to go to work. So I'm doing it an hour early tonight. And I did not do it last Wednesday because last Wednesday was Kayla's birthday. She turned 15. And I did not do a Saturday's episode because we extended her birthday celebration to Saturday. And by the time I got home, it was too late and I was too tired. So sometimes that will happen. No worries, not going anywhere, still here. So before I get started, please go ahead and click like and share on the Facebook or the YouTube channel that you are on. This helps us grow our platform, and I highly appreciate your support in spreading the knowledge to achieve financial literacy and the steps towards achieving generational wealth. As always, the short disclaimer, the information shared is based on my own opinions, experiences, practices, and insight into the strategies suitable to my life and my financial wellness for my family. King's Legacy Group is not a financial advisor, and my videos are for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. You must do your own due diligence and seek professional advice when you feel the need to confirm or expand your understanding of knowledge on any topics covered on this platform. Always remember to make smart decisions that suit your own needs and do your own research and analysis. What do you want to invest in? I've already gone over this on previous videos pertaining to the long-term investments. So I'm not going to break down everything as I did before because I already have. So if you want the breakdown, you need to look at the previous videos that are posted. You can scroll through my feed on Facebook to find the videos, or you can go to King's Legacy Group on YouTube, and all the videos are there. So, what do you want to invest in? As I stated before, the first thing that you're going to think about of what you want to invest in is where you already spend your money. What you do on a regular basis for your household, personally, your personal wants and needs, where you spend your money on a regular basis. That's going to be the very first company that you, or companies that you do some research on to check on the status of the market pertaining to those companies. Next, you can ask yourself the question, what companies have been in business and thriving throughout the economy, throughout the economy's market fluctuations? Companies that have been around for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, companies that you know are not going anywhere anytime soon. That would be your next list that you're going to generate to determine which companies you want to start investing in and eventually invest in. Because depending on the share point of how much it is to start buying the stock, if you want to buy a full share at a time, then that will, based on your budget and your analysis of what you're able to contribute to start investing, will determine whether you will be able to afford that one stock or however many stocks you want to buy per that stock investment, or how much you're going to be able to dollar cost average, which is continuously investing in the stocks that you invest in, whether it be on a weekly, bi-weekly, or a monthly basis. And based on your budget and what you come up with of what you can put towards your savings, because again, investment is a savings. You get a better return on investment when you invest your savings money as opposed to putting it in a regular bank savings account. So yes, it is a form of investing. Next question that you can ask yourself, what company do you work for? Has it been around long? Does it have a good business record? Is it listed within the stock market? And if it is, you may want to invest in the company that you work for, a company that's paying you on a regular basis to do tasks for them. And even if you feel like you're not getting paid what you should, invest in the company and make more money off of them. Next question would be, what is your employer's competition? Like my first business is with Lyft. I used to do both Lyft and Uber, but Lyft's competition is Uber. So if I wanted to invest in one, I might want to invest in another. But again, just because I'm saying these are the companies that you start your analysis with on what you want to invest in, I'm not saying you should invest, because you have to do your research on the companies. Just because it's been around for a while and it may was doing good before the pandemic, it may not be doing good after the pandemic. And so the numbers may not match up. So I'm not saying what you put on your list when you start gathering the companies that you want to invest in, you're not going to choose all of them. But this is just the starting process of breaking down what you may want to invest in. Next question that you can ask, what market does that company fall under? And what I mean by that is, this is the next step of determining how you want to break down your investments. How do you want to diversify your portfolio? So the simplest choices would be you choosing a single stock, which is a ticker symbol, a company, let's say one of those companies that you choose may have a single stock symbol, but it could also be included within a ETF. And I explained what an ETF is already on a few videos. You can also see if the company or companies that you want to invest in are included within an index fund. I've already explained what an index is. So go back and look at the videos or do your own research to have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So like I stated before, you need to figure out your budget. How much can you initially afford to buy into the stock market? How many stocks can you afford to buy to get started? Meaning you can buy a full share or you could buy a partial share. Depending on the platform that you're on, you could buy partial shares of a share. You don't have to afford the full amount that covers one share. And I'm saying one share because, like I stated before, you don't have to have a lot of money to get started. You don't have to have a lot of money to invest. And a lot of these share points are low. Not all stock, whether that be individual ETF or index fund, not everything is $100+ or $2,000+ or $3,000 just to buy or even jump in the game. That's not the case. A lot of these stocks are under $20. So you can get started somewhere. You don't have to have fear to get started. And you work your numbers out once you do your budget and your strategy on how you want to save, then you can get started on that information. Don't overplay yourself. Don't buy more than what you can afford, because the point is to get started so that you can set up automatic deposits that fit your budget, that won't have a negative impact on your daily living or your ability to save more. This is all about getting started to save and to put effort towards savings that will give you a rate of return with the compound interest. Next question, as far as what is your budget? Have you set up a separate savings or debit account to allocate the funds that you set aside for investing? I've already talked about that as well. When you set up these accounts, you need to control where your money goes. If you have trouble, if you have bad spending habits, or you have issues saving, until you get a plan in place, you're going to fall back in the same bad habits. So once you gradually grow into implementing and executing good spending habits and good saving habits, then you will see that you have more control over your financial situation, and you're able to change your negative financial situation or improve your positive financial situation. Because you can never have enough. I mean, it's all about financial security. So you don't have to stop when you reach a goal. Your goal is to set another goal once you reach that initial goal. And it's just a cycle that repeats itself. And controlling your money is a big thing. With me, it really helps that I have other accounts, other financial institution accounts from my main Wells Fargo account. And the reason it works well for me is I don't see it. I know that it's coming out and it's being allocated to other accounts, but the only one that I'm checking all the time is the one I use every day. Sometimes I forget I have other accounts, but those other accounts that I have money allocated to for specific reasons, as I explained on the last video, my one of my savings account at one of the credit unions, that money goes in there every week out of my main debit account from Wells Fargo, and that's one of my savings accounts. So what I set up recently was to have my whole life insurance policies, some of them, two of them, two whole life insurance policies, and one, what's the other one? My mind just went blank. Anyway, it's an insurance. It's an insurance account, but I have 3 of those insurance policies come out of that account. As far as the premiums every month, they automatically are withdrawn from that account, and it's out of sight, out of mind. And the money that I see accumulated in that account, the actual savings, I'm not looking at it, so I'm not going to be tempted to spend it. So that part helps me. Now, if I'm looking at my other 5 accounts at Wells Fargo, I'm seeing that money every day. I'm moving money around, or I may be tempted to spend sooner than my designated spending day is, because I don't deprive myself on the things that I want, but I do budget and plan to buy the things that I want. I work hard. I deserve to buy the things that I want after I have bought the things that I need. So sometimes I may not stick to my schedule because I have it on my phone to remind me every month that I can go to my favorite places and buy what I want. So, but I've gotten better at that. I think I've only cheated twice this year and not stuck to the day that was designated for that. I had posted something the other day on Instagram of a purse that I want to buy. And no, it's not the Coach. It's not the Louis Vuitton. Uh, do it? Are those on my list to buy additional purses of that sort? Yes. But the next one that I want is a simple, I think it's a Calvin Klein purse. I just love the color. I thought it was cute when I was at Ross going shopping for Kayla's birthday clothes. And I'm like, I'm coming back to get you. I like purses that I can coordinate with my wardrobe. But the thing is, those purses, my Coach purse and some other designer purses I only use them on special occasions. I don't even use them every day. I have my regular raggedy, black, cheap Goodwill purse that I use every day. But when I go out, something special, I coordinate the right purse with my outfit. So, uh, yeah, I'm gonna treat myself. I deserve it. I work hard for it, and I've gotten better with my finances. So, yes, I will continue to do that. Next thing pertaining to your budget: how much can you dollar cost average? I've explained what that is. Once you buy or invest in the initial stock, okay, what you're gonna do is set up automatic deposits to go into those stocks either every week. It's either every week, every other week, or every month. And that's what dollar cost averaging is. You set up automatic deposits because you have to have a plan in place and be able to stick to it. And when you have it allocated for automatic deposit, then you're not worrying about it. You're not missing the time that you should invest in it. So dollar cost averaging is setting a set amount. And again, I don't care what the amount is, just as long as you do something. If you are low income, I don't care if it's $5 a week. At some point, you're going to see the results, the positive results, and you're going to make the adjustments and do what needs to be done to increase it to 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 a week, $100 a week. You're going to see the progress and you're going to make the changes that are needed to improve your financial situation. And part of your financial stability is creating a growing savings plan. And investing is a part of savings. So you figure out what's best for your pockets and you just stick to the plan, set it up for automatic deposits, and just leave it alone and watch it grow. Again, I don't care where you start. I mentioned on a previous video that I have my stock set up for automatic deposits on each one. The ones that cost a little more, I have those set up for every 2 weeks. The ones that are less, I have those set up every week. But in total, I'm investing $400 to $500 a month for my investments, for my stocks, for my financial portfolio. And when I first got started and gradually increased what I was doing, I was like, this is going to stop me from doing this. This is going to stop me from doing that. But once it happened, I didn't miss it. It just made me get better on creating structure on my finances. Just like when I said about planning once a month for a day for me to spend my money on what I want. I put that money aside, long as I work for it and I can put it aside to save it, then I can treat myself and spend that once a month. And that way I have no excuse to say, well, I'm depriving myself, or I'm living below my means, or I'm broke. No, it's a stress-free process, and I know what I have to work with and what I can do. Like, I set myself a budget on how much I spend on my wants. If I go to that store and that purse still there, and I'm gonna get it, I think it's like $70. Yeah, I think $60 or $70 anyway. And if I go there and see something else I want, I'm not going to get the extra thing I want. I'm going to plan it. I'm going to take a picture of it so I don't forget and go back and get it for my next month scheduled day. And if it's not there, I'll get something equivalent in price. But I'm not depriving myself. It's not going to kill me that I don't get it right then. That impulse buying, yeah, we got to get that under control, especially as women. Yeah. The next thing pertaining to your budget to plan for your investments, you need to remember that, again, something is better than nothing. And start where you can. You do your own assessment on what you have to save. Don't try to follow what someone else is doing. Don't follow what I'm doing. I'm doing what's suitable for my financial need and my financial abilities. You do the same for yourself. Don't follow other people on social media or somebody you know personally who's able to invest more. What they call it, trying to keep up with the Joneses? No. The Joneses are not paying your bills. They're paying their own bills. So you work what you work with what you have, when you can and how you can. And you will eventually increase that investment, see the results, and that's gonna push you to do even better the next time. Whether it be the next time of the next month, next 6 months, the next year, that's you putting those goals in place that you are choosing to do better by this time. So focus on what you have and what you can work with. Okay, pick your top 5 of the list of all the companies that you put together and you started your research on these companies. Checking the annual reports, checking the social media news, checking the stock market news, whatever resource you use, you do your research first. You don't follow what I say when I'm telling you what stocks I buy. You choose what you would like to invest in, and you go from there. If you end up following my footsteps and you are getting a good return on investment, great. But you have to do your own research first. Don't just go by what I say and jump into it. You can't do that. That's not common sense. That's not realistic. That's not smart. You have to know what you're doing. And you don't have to learn everything pertaining to stocks. You gradually grow and gain more knowledge so that you become more comfortable with your choices. So, of the list of companies that you would like to invest in, you're going to pick your top 5. And this is, I'm saying this for my beginners who are just getting started, who are getting over the fear of investing. And again, I don't teach, and I don't plan on teaching or explaining short-term investing. I don't do short-term investing. I do long-term investing. I buy, let it grow, keep investing in it. I wait until a year and a day, determine what I'm going to do with the profits, determine if I'm going to keep or replace a stock based on the data. But it's still going to be a rinse and repeat cycle because that's how you grow. A friend of mine who he stepped out on faith and he had no knowledge or understanding of stocks, but he took the baby steps that he needed to learn how to invest. He came across people that even a bank, one of his banks, who did him wrong, didn't have his best interest in mind, especially with a business account and the investment account. The money wasn't growing the way it should. So he found someone that he trusted, and that person really showed him and explained things to him, and his money grew. So, and I'm talking about, I don't know how much his initial investment was, probably 20, 30,000, but in 4 to 5 years, his investments grew to 100,000. And that's just starting with something. Again, I don't know how much it started with. I didn't ask how much his initial investment was, but whatever it was, it grew. Yeah, I think he said it grew 70,000. So that took him to 100,000. So yeah, just getting started. And even though I'm saying the numbers of 30,000 to 100,000, you can get started with 1,000. Just imagine what you can do even with that after 4 or 5 years of what your return on investment would be. A whole lot more than what you would have had by doing nothing, by letting fear stop you from doing something. So again, work with what you have, watch it grow, and increase it to do even better later. Okay, so make a firm choice of your top 5. Now pick your first 2 that you want to invest in. Now, if you want to do your first 5 as your first 5 investments, again, that's on you. I'm just saying for the beginners who still have that fear to step over the line to get started, start out small and work your way up. With me, I did the same thing when I self-taught myself on stocks and following YouTube channels that I felt I could trust the information on. I didn't go by everything they said, but I used what they shared to help with my own research for understanding and made the baby steps that I needed. I started with 2, ended up with 15. Recently, I got rid of 2 that were given for free by the platform one of the platforms that I use. So right now I'm at 13 on one platform, and I have the ones I have in my Vanguard account, but that's the stock that I invest in to go towards my Roth IRA account and Kayla's custodial Roth IRA account. And I have the Stash account, which is the first one that I got started with, the Stash app, STASH, the Stash app. it was user friendly, very simple, but they don't have enough of that I wanted to invest in, the stocks that I wanted to invest in. But they do have a large range of stocks, but not the ones that I found on Robinhood and that I have access to on Vanguard. And I was going to replace Stash when I started with Robinhood because I didn't see any benefit. That was during the time where I was checking into starting Kayla's custodial stock account. And come to find out that Robinhood did not and does not have custodial accounts. So I end up keeping the Stash account because they have a custodial stock account for minors. So I use the Stash to set up Kayla's first stock accounts. She has two, and I kept two of the ones that I have. But and I started mine in February, either late February or early March. I think early March. And with that, I've only been doing I can't remember what I initially started with on those investments. I had more than two when I started on Stash, but I just kept it at two when I was only keeping that platform to start Kayla's custodial. But even with my dollar cost averaging on what I had kept on Stash, I think I was doing, my mind just went blank. I was doing either $5, $10 to $20 a week. No, I was doing $5 to $10 a week for the dollar cost averaging. When I would go in and check the accounts to see how they were doing and see that they were doing well, I would pay additional $20 here, $50 there, and so on and so on. And right now, with the short period of time when Kayla got started, I think it was April or May when I started her custodial account on Stash. She invested an initial $50. And ever since then, she's been doing $5 a week for $25 a month. And her custodial account alone, I just got an email about it. Hers is like $280 some dollars. So you can do the numbers. I'm not gonna figure the numbers out on $50 down, $5 a week since May. That's so she's had a good return on investment. And mine has moved up to almost $800. And that's just me setting it up, leaving it alone. And that's it. So again, start somewhere is better than nothing. My Robinhood account, I put more money into that, obviously, with the 15 stocks. And I've done well on that one. I'm going to be looking into, I'm really going to try to do $1,000 a month. I probably won't be able to start that until January 2022, as opposed to the 400 to 500 a month that I'm putting into that. But my goal is to do close to $1,000 a month starting January next year. And my Vanguard, I'm not going to rush that. I'll put, like when I get my tax return, hopefully they do another PPP. Ooh, please do another PPP SBA for 2022. Dear Jesus, please. I could use that 10,000. And I'm gonna put all that. Actually, if they do another PPP for next year, I'm gonna take that whole 10,000 and put it into another whole life insurance policy. I'm gonna pay it up to activate the cash value and build up my ability to establish my own personal banking system. So I won't have to go to a traditional bank to get a loan. I have my own source of loan that won't even be on my credit. It's a personal transaction between me and my insurance company. Now with the 5 whole life insurance policies I already have, those are not dividend accounts. Those are not PUAs, paid up additions. Those are just regular those are regular traditional whole life insurance policies. But the ones I'm talking about that I'll be building off of Kayla and off of me, as long as my health stays fine, I'm going to do 2 additional whole life insurance policies, including the 5 that I got. I mean, in addition to the 5 that I already have, I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to do one on another on her and one on me. But these are going to be paid up addition policies, which is the with the cash value being able to be redeemed sooner than later. But I have video on that. You can go look at that on YouTube. And I gave a breakdown of that already. Too many things we don't know as a community. And we got to stop making excuses on not gaining all the information that we need. So, top 5, pick your first 2 out of those 5. And preferably, your first 2, well, not preferably, but just to see how the process is with those stocks, pick a single stock and an ETF. Okay, you can change it at any point in time, but I'm just saying for you to help with your with gaining more understanding of what you're doing, because having a diversified portfolio is important. And I'll give a breakdown of that in just a moment. And the reason I say your first 2, try to do 1 single stock and 1 ETF, because you want to see how they work as you monitor the first 3 months of progress. And again, you can change it anytime you want, but that helped me understand by choosing my first 2 as a single stock and an ETF. What platform or brokerage firm to use? You have to do your research. I've already mentioned I started with Stash, transitioned to Robinhood, briefly used Webull. Oh, and I must admit, my friend Cedric texted me this past week and said I needed to get back on Webull to get some of the penny crypto. I went ahead and did it. I hate Webull. I don't like Webull's platform. It's just too much going on. I actually get aggravated to where I want to slam my phone because it's just too much on there. But I got back on it. Luckily, I didn't have to wait 7 days like I did when I first got on it for my money to get on there. So I got back in there and bought some more crypto. I've been got rid of my my Dogecoin. I initially put in like $100. I quickly made, I think in total I withdrew. That's the only thing I treat as short-term investing is crypto. Once I see that profit, I'm taking that money out. And I think I end up profiting probably $1,200 off of that. But when I did the initial $100 investment on Dogecoin, I had my $100 back in 2 days. So I immediately took out the $100 once I saw the profit from that. And so I didn't lose anything. And then the rest was in there. And this was during the time it was, spiking up. Now it done plateaued. But anyway, during those times where it was spiking and the profits were coming in, I took that money out. So I lost nothing. I had nothing but a gain. So my friend texted me like, you need to get back on Week because this another crypto that's going to be doing the same thing like Doge. It's like you can start with $30 and they're going to buy you 1 million crypto. So that's what I did to get back into Weeble. So that's that, and that's the only thing I'm doing on there, is buying crypto. I'm not using Weeble for anything else because it hurts my brain trying to figure out where to go or remember how to get to where I was last time. I'm like, no, I'll be exhausted once I get through using Weeble. But anyway, started with Stash, transitioned to Robinhood, did Weeble for a little while, and then I got into Vanguard for my real retirement investments on Vanguard. Vanguard is just like Fidelity and Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade. Same thing. Well, the fees may differ. And based on my research and speaking to millionaires, I narrowed it down to the two I had already decided to pick from anyway, and that was Vanguard and Fidelity. So, yeah, do your research and figure out how you want to. For me, I think that it was good that I started with the apps first. Stash and Robinhood are user friendly, not confusing. They don't have a whole bunch of data and jumbo mumbo on the app. Everything is self-explanatory, straight to the point. So Stash and Robinhood really helped me, pace myself to learn how to maneuver the apps and understand the stuff that I learned from other people or on YouTube. The language, the stock market language was relatable when I got on the apps and taught myself what to do. And that's how I learn best. I prefer to be hands-on to learn it better. You can get financial advisors, but honestly, you don't need a financial advisor until you reach a certain level of wealth. I wouldn't even say 100,000. I would say get a financial advisor once you hit the $1 million mark. There's no point in you having a financial advisor before you hit a $1 million mark. I mean, you can, but this is just my preference. So you should be the one controlling your money and knowing what's going on. Like my friend I had mentioned earlier, he got lucky with someone he could actually trust with his money and made his money grow. That's not going to be the case for most of us. He got lucky. And the person that got him started to help him reach that 100,000, when he went back to look for him, he had moved up in the company to a VP and had trouble getting in contact with him because they was like, first they lied, telling they didn't know the guy. But somebody finally told him that he only deal with, $1 million accounts. So, but luckily somebody reached out to that VP and forwarded my friend's information to remind him who he was, and he got in contact with him. And now he's back with him to hopefully make that 100,000 a million. But again, that's not going to be the case for everybody. So I really advocate you understanding and managing your own money. You don't put that control into someone else's hand because you're paying them to do so also. It's just like the life insurance. On the life insurance policies, the first 2 to 3 years, that money is going to the insurance company and the insurance agent that process your application. So the same thing with an advisor. The majority of that money in the beginning is going to the advisor, not into your return on investment. So yeah, you got to be careful with that. So me personally, I'm gonna keep managing my own money until one day I hit the million. Then yeah, I might have my friend hook me up with his friend. So yeah, know what's going on with your own money before you put that power into someone else's hands. My two of my four platforms that I use, as I mentioned, is Robinhood and Vanguard. Robinhood, I use that for my multiple personal investments, and use that for a more diverse portfolio. Because my Vanguard, I only have 3 investments right now. I upscaled myself with the higher investments. So I wanted that on a brokerage firm that has a good reputation, and that's why I chose Vanguard for those higher SharePoint investments. So Robinhood, I have more of a diverse portfolio on there with the 13 stocks. The platform is user friendly, especially for beginners. The only thing I don't like, there's a delayed customer service response, but they sent out messages early this month or late last month that they are implementing new features, and one of those features is to achieve on-time responses. So hopefully that'll be coming soon, but right now the only way to reach them is through the messaging system, and that could take 2 to 3 business days before they respond. That's the only thing I don't like about Robinhood. But I've only had to reach out to them twice, so it's not like you really need them that often. Vanguard is for my Roth IRA and Kayla's custodial Roth IRA accounts. It is a more structured platform for higher risk investing. Now, although I'm saying higher risk investing, these are some investments that you're not going to find on a platform like Stash and Robinhood. So, but the same stocks that are on Robinhood, you can still find on Vanguard. Okay, those lower prices. It's just that you have a larger span of stocks that you can invest in on a brokerage firm like Vanguard. It has a dedicated customer service support that can walk you through the process and handle any inquiries immediately. You just click the button and you'll get someone. The video that I'm recording now, I'm going to post it on YouTube as soon as I finish. It has the images and information that I'm going over now. On slide 10 of the 13 slides, I have a snapshot of MORT, MORT, which is the ticker symbol for VanEck Mortgage REIT Income ETF. REIT is what's referred to real estate stock. And I've already explained this before on what a REIT is, using the example of, let's say, Amazon and Walmart. Those warehouses and the stores that they are posted in, they don't own those. They pay rent to someone, a mortgage company. So these mortgage companies that are billion-dollar industries, they have stock symbols. They have stocks that you can invest in their company, and it's a guaranteed dividend yield on REITs. They have to pay those out, but it does take a little longer for your return on investment. But the dividends are done either every month, every quarter. I was about to say 6 months, but no, it's like it's either every month or every quarter. You're going to get your dividends. And I explain what dividends are. You can go back and look at the other videos on YouTube. But on slide 10 of the 13, I have 3 images. The first one is going to give a breakdown of when you go into Robinhood, and I'm only showing Robinhood on this presentation, but it gives a breakdown. You can look at the statistics of the stock that you buy. And again, the ticker symbol for this REIT, for this real estate, is MORT. Okay. Right now, the share point is $19.59. That's how much it costs to buy 1 share of this stock. Okay. You can buy less and build up to where you get to the point of owning 1 stock, 2 stocks, 3 stocks, so on and so on. So the good thing about Robinhood, you can buy partial shares. You don't have to buy a full share to get started. So again, I don't care how much you got. It's the point of getting started. So right now, the share point is $19.59. That's how much it costs to buy 1 share of this stock. If you just got $5, start with the $5 and set up $5 every week. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you have bought 1 share. 1 share and some change. And you're going to keep doing the dollar cost averaging every week. And you're going to have more shares and more shares. And that's how you grow your portfolio. That's how you get started with something over nothing. So stop making excuses. You can afford to get started with investing. Okay? It will show you the today's high, the today's low, which means how on the day that you're looking at it, it's going to show the lowest amount that it costs to buy a share and at what point it was the highest to buy a share. You're going to have a breakdown of the 52-week high and the 52-week low, which is what the share point started with and the highs it has been since it's been open. Okay, like on this one, the 52-week low was $13.24. The 52-week high was $20.75. Let's say you bought in at $13.24, and over the progression of 52 weeks, it grew to the $20.75. So that gives you an idea of the profits that you made per your investment, over your investment amount. Now, let's say, remember I told you about not getting terrified when you see a stock that you invest in goes down. If you have no reasoning for getting rid of that stock based on something you heard in the stock market or read on the news, saw on the news, or read within your financial journals, newspaper, whatever. If nothing's really wrong with that company, because again, the market fluctuates. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. If you know it's still a good stock, if I went in and saw, and I bought in at the 52-week low at $13.24, and the highs was $20.75. Let's say it went down to like between $15 to $17. I'm gonna buy some more stock of that stock because it's gonna go back up. And the lower it is, that's when you take advantage and buy more stock. Don't get scared and sell off what you got. You let it stay in there and you buy more when it goes down. So when it goes up, you got profits off of the amount that it went up to. You can't be fearful. You got to pay attention and keep track of what's going on. It'll also let you know if that stock is a dividend yield. Not every stock is a dividend yield. And just because a stock offers a dividend yield does not mean that you should buy that stock. No, there's not. No. You have to do your research, people, and you got to do your assessments. But this one offers a 30-day yield of 7.86, which is good. So I actually had this on Robinhood, but I decided to get rid of it on Robinhood, and I put it on one of my Vanguard stocks that I bought because I want to have it on that one as opposed to Robinhood. So I kept it. I just sold everything and took that money and put it on the Vanguard stock for the MORT. When you look at the stocks on Robinhood, again, everything is real simple, user-friendly, self-explanatory. You could click that stock and it can let you know what's in this fund, the sectors and the top 10 holdings. Like for MORT, the MORT, the holdings are 62.54% of MORT total assets. This is annual capital, AGNC investment, Starwood Properties, new residentials. When you click it, it'll give you a list of the top 10 holdings that are in this stock. As far as the sectors is real estate and financial services. Okay. So again, when you see this, and even if you're not, well, first thing anyway, before you start actually investing and you figure out what platform you want to use, if the platform you want to use is Robinhood, you can go ahead and set up an account without actually investing. Set the account, open the account up, and just play with it before you start actually investing. Just play with it so you can understand how to maneuver through the platform. Okay. I'm going to go to what time is it? What is a diverse portfolio? It's a whole list, but you choose what's best for you when you do your research and your analysis. You can get a single stock, like Amazon is a single stock. Apple is a single stock. I have Apple as a single stock, and I have Apple that's inside of an ETF. So I'm getting double the hit off of a well-run company, a profitable company. So single stock, ETFs, indexes, real estate, which again is called REIT, REIT, tech and media, financial services and banking, medical, pharma, or healthcare, cannabis, excuse me, energy, water, bonds, metals. Now that's the only thing I won't really invest in is bonds. Things for me, I need to see some things that's not progressive enough for me. So I don't invest in bond. Metals, crypto, and Bitcoin. I know the stigmatism that's behind crypto and Bitcoin, but revolution, people, these things will be more relevant as time goes on. As I indicated before, the only thing I invest in short term, make a profit, take it out, keep the cycle going. I don't wait a year and a day on that, is crypto. Once I get some profit, I'm taking it out and keeping the cycle repeating itself until I get more profit, take it out, get more profit, take it out. Bitcoin, I just got into Bitcoin, I guess month and a half ago, but I decided to utilize the new platform that Hill Harper created, because he put emphasis on us blacks having and owning that type of institution as opposed to our counterparts always being at the front of owning the financial backings, and they're the ones making the millions and billions. So because I know how much of an activist Hill Harper is, and he's a very smart man. I mean, yeah, he's an actor, but he's a very smart man. And when he created this Bitcoin platform, I decided to give it a chance. And I do see some things that need to improve, but I'm hanging in there. So of course I can't afford to buy what's really needed for Bitcoin right now. But you can buy partial investment of Bitcoin on this platform. So me doing, I think I do $25 a week on there. Again, something over nothing. So with the money that I have invested, I'm just going to throw out a number. Let's say if it's $200, then I have profited just on that little 25 for that Bitcoin. If you know about Bitcoin, I don't even know what it is. Where is it right now? I think it's at 30 some thousand, 40 some thousand. I don't know. So even with that, let's say my number of investment initially was $200. I probably profited 50 some dollars. So if I had put $200 in the bank, a savings account at the bank, it'd still be at $200. Something over nothing. So, and that's just been for the past month. Net flew up. No, that's something over nothing. And again, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but I have made a profit off of what I have invested in, which is nothing I would have made putting that money in a savings account at a regular bank or even a credit union. Not to that extent. So I'll grow it eventually. I'll add more to the 25 a week. But again, I pace myself when I'm able to increase whatever it is I'm doing. You can't think that you should stay where you started at. You got to progress to do more. More investment equals more return on investment. What else we got? A diverse portfolio can consist of consumer goods, consumer services and retail, commodities, ETFs, food and drink sector ETFs, growth and value ETFs, healthcare supplies, software, automotive, business. The list goes on and on. I think it's a total of 11 official sectors. This is just the category of the types of stocks that you can invest in. Whatever suits your needs. Like if you're a tech person, you may want to find, get the list of tech companies and media companies and invest in those. You may have an inside knowledge of those companies, and they're doing well over somebody like me. I don't know tech from, so you may find it be of more use to you to invest in majority of tech companies. So yeah, like let's say y'all remember when Pixar started in the movies. I think the first Pixar movie was what was that movie? Anyway, if you had invested in Pixar, I think of the movie when I'm not on the app on the video, but anybody know what that movie? Anyway, companies like that, when they start and then you hear about it later and regret how much money they done made, you'd be like, dang, I could have invested in that. It could have been me. Like the little boy that got $1 million by investing in the GameStop thing. Just, you don't know what could happen. Yeah, that was a fluke. But still, the boy made the money for his mama. Kudos. But yeah, if you really get into this and you read more into the stock market and what's going on, you may find that gem that you jump in to invest in because you know something's going to happen with that. You could be a thousandaire or a millionaire overnight just by... Yeah, we got to stop sitting back, not getting involved, and making the same moves that rich people do all the time. They rich for a reason. They wealthy for a reason. They started somewhere to get to where they are. Not everything is handed down through generational wealth. Some people actually have to do work for it. Okay. So, as I mentioned on the last video, you got to keep good records. You got to track your performance. And my journal logbook is almost finished. So I'll be sharing that soon. But you got to keep track of the stocks that you buy. And that's creating your financial portfolio with your investments. And that's the date you purchase the stock. Make note of what the year and a day date would be. The type of stock, whether it's ETF, index, single, etc. The company name, the ticker symbol, the current value, which is how much it costs to buy one share. The number of shares you bought initially. What is the 52-week high and 52-week low at the time that you bought it? Does that stock offer dividend yield? If so, what it is? And how much you're going to be doing in your dollar cost averaging. Write that down and keep track. That helps you also determine at what point you're able to increase your investment amount and increase your dollar cost averaging. The more you invest, the more you get on return on investment. So this is the end. And as always, I hope that you found some value in the content shared today. So until next time, take care of yourselves and know that knowledge is real power when you apply it. And please click share. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, please click share, like and share. If you'd like to make a comment, please do so. And if you want to be notified of when I go live on YouTube, click subscribe. And I was happy to serve you all again. And thank you for showing up. Take care, everybody.